And now it's time for the Doc and Pimpy Show.
So before we get started, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button because it helps us get past the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel and I surely do appreciate that. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings and their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. So head on over there now. You can actually own physical gold and silver. Go to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. And don't forget to use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y. If you spend more than $100, you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. And you guys know I have an alternative website where I post original content as well as other content that is banned from YouTube. It's $3 a month. All proceeds go to Finding Life's Purpose Foundation, and you have unlimited access. Be very careful of people out there trying to impersonate me. They're asking people to send them money. Don't fall for it. I will not ask you to go to WhatsApp, nor will I ask you to go to Telegram. And here's how you know if I'm the one responding to any of your comments. A person makes a comment. If I respond, you'll see a dark circle around my name. See that? From time to time, I will use material that is copywritten. Just so you know, I am exercising my fair use rights. And so I put this disclaimer on there just in case. What is going on out there, peeps? Welcome to the Doc and Pimpy Show. I am excited about our next guest here. We have aboard with us Sheriff Mack. For those of you who caught our show on AM 590, we had him on there, but I just felt like it wasn't enough time. There is a whole lot more we should be covering. Sheriff Mack, welcome aboard.
Well, thanks a lot, Pimpy. It's great to be with you. And I guess I got to try to come up with a great nickname. I guess Sheriff for me.
Well, I don't know. Mack is pretty cool in our area.
I got called Big Mac most of my life.
Yeah, Mack. So just for you people, so a lot of my people, they love the name Pimpy, but a lot of them, where Mack comes from, the word Mack is like somebody who's really good at talking to women. So you're Sheriff Mack, which actually, I don't know if you need to find a cool nickname. That's pretty cool right there in itself.
It's probably enough right there.
Yeah, not only is he a Mack, but he's a Sheriff Mack, man. It gets no better. Look, I know you were just in Pennsylvania, and I want to touch on a couple of things. On the radio show, we were talking about you have been going around the nation. And I said originally brushing up on the Constitution, but you kind of surprised me a little bit. You said, well, not so much brushing up as much as I am teaching the Constitution to the sheriffs. How is that going? And do you want to touch on that a little bit with these new listeners?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I feel that the only solution that we have left in America that's both peaceful and effective is the CSPOA, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. And so I kind of feel like I'm a modern day Paul Revere, riding around the entire country, waking up sheriffs and peace officers, chiefs of police, and other public officials, mayors, city councils, county commissioners, county attorneys, and waking them up to the awful situation that if you would just look around, if anybody with eyes would just look around and see that the government, the federal government and some state governments are trying to destroy our Constitution.
Yes.
Pragmatically, not through legislation, but pragmatically and through this pragmatic coup that they're perpetrating on the American people. And I guess they found out that the fear mongering wasn't enough.
Right.
And that they weren't getting enough people in action. So now they're trying to force everyone by arresting them if they don't wear a mask. But right now, the big thing is It's moved away from the mask to actually getting the vaccination. So people are being threatened with their homes, their livelihoods, their family life, their pursuit of happiness is being destroyed by our own federal government and state governments who are going along with this communist takeover of America. I never thought I would see in my lifetime such a emphatic and accelerated destruction of our country. And I have maintained for the last 20 years that the greatest enemy to our God-given constitutional republic is our own federal government.
I would love to have you come up here, and if we can, get the other sheriffs from the other towns that are really close to us, and I think we can do that.
I'm in Merced County.
There's one other thing I wanted to touch on with both of you. Now, the only reason that you guys know me, the only reason you've ever heard of Sheriff Mack is because when I was sheriff, I did something really crazy, I admit, but very historical. It was the only time in American history where a group of sheriffs, and I started the whole lawsuit against the Clinton administration to stop the overreach associated with the Brady Bill, which was a bunch of gun control and a bunch of crap perpetrated by Washington, D.C. and the Clinton administration and the Congress, that the sheriffs of this country would enforce the gun control associated with the Brady Bill. And I said, oh no. And they literally put a clause in there that whoever knowingly did not comply with this mandate, with this law, supposed law, pretend legislation, as the founder said, pretend legislation, we were subject to a year in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. They threatened to arrest sheriffs if we didn't comply with their ridiculous mandate, not realizing we don't work for them. And the President of the United States cannot tell me what to do. Congress, Nancy Pelosi has no authority in my county while I was sheriff or any other county in this country. She has no authority. She cannot tell me what to do. I can tell them what to do because I work by, for, and of the people, the true power source. And Nancy Pelosi is nothing. But this is the thing. In this decision written by Justice Scalia, a 5-4 split, but a victory for sheriffs against the tyranny of the federal government, Clinton administration. And I got to tell you 3 things that it says in here. First, on page, now I wrote this, I put the decision in a little booklet. I don't know if you guys can see me.
Yes,
I can. Yeah.
Okay. This little booklet is one of the most powerful little books you'll find anywhere in America. This was the most powerful 10th Amendment decision in the history of America. And again, the only time where law enforcement officials - sheriffs sued the federal government and won at the United States Supreme Court. And I quote, "We have held, however," this is the Supreme Court talking, "we have held, however, that state legislatures are not subject to federal direction and that they cannot be compelled to enforce or administer a federal regulatory program." What do you think COVID-19 mandates are? Those are mandates that the states don't have to do anything about because they are not law. They are not geared towards us, and we have the obligation to stand against it. Then Scalia goes on and says Congress was not given all governmental powers, but only discrete enumerated ones. And then it says, my question was, well, how do we keep them discrete and enumerated? And then he even gives the answer to that, which implication was rendered express by the assertion of the 10th Amendment. It's up to us to stop this. And then he goes and he quotes the Federalist Papers, Federalist 51, quote, "Hence, a double security arises to the rights of the people. The different governments will control each other." It's the job of the local sheriff and the state and the counties and cities to control the other governments when they get outside their lanes, to put them back inside their lanes. If the judicial branch or legislative branch go outside their authority and act like a bunch of tyrants, the executive branch or the police and sheriffs have some sort of obligation to go along with that? Quite the contrary. It's our job to stop it and to interpose and make sure that they're not victimizing the American people or the people in my county, that they're not victimized by this out of control government. And then finally, this is so powerful. My favorite part of this decision, Scalia quotes another justice in saying, but the Constitution protects us from our own best intentions. Our own best intentions. And then just a couple of sentences later, he says, and protects us from, quote, the crisis of the day. The crisis of the day. The Constitution protects us from that if, and I'm adding this part, if we have the courage to do so. And I pray that the sheriffs in this country will have the courage to stand and make sure that we're not being victimized by this out of control government, all in the name of taking care of us.
Or the crisis of the day. You know,
the crisis of the day that they have created.
Yes.
Very many times they will.
When I talk to the sheriff's posse, I'm going to see about also, if you're open to this, I want to open it up to the public as well so that the public has an opportunity to get educated at the same time.
Totally.
That would be my goal.
Yes,
okay.
Totally. We when sheriffs invite us, like these sheriffs out in Texas, and they invite us to come and do the training there, they ask us, should we have the people come? And I said, the people are the boss. They need to hear this too. But it's up to you. I mean, I'll let and sometimes we'll break for a couple hours and say, look, we just want to talk with sheriffs, public officials, and cops and say, what should we be doing? And what do we need to do? And how do we come together and unify in what we're going to do to protect our people from these ridiculous mandates?
That's just a preview. If you want to catch the entire show, head on over to Pimpy's News Network. Over here, we have the entire interview there. Again, it's just $3 a month, you guys. It's unlimited access to all the videos that are there, and all proceeds go to Finding Life's Purpose. In addition to catching that show, don't forget you can also catch the show that me and Doc did over here. We did a preview. The full entire interview is on Pimpy's News Network as well. I have enabled comments, so you guys can leave comments down below underneath the videos, and I look forward to hearing from you. That's it for now. I'm out.